descending from the tribe of Africa, inspired by the great black leader.
Vainglorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green, with a king, zoom.
Dynamic, articulate.
If hip-hop has the ability to corrupt young minds, it also has the ability to uplift them.
Cause I'm seeing bright visions of how we should be living. Unified, strong, making our own decisions. Hip-hop city, higher minds will listen. Some won't get it and find time for dissing. But I've always been ahead of the preservation mission. So I've always been the head of the preservation mission. And one sure way to preserve what we're spitting, preserve what we've written, preserve how we wiggling, preserve our mixing, our raw sound. It's to finally establish a small hip-hop resort town, a place where artists from all over the earth can come and find peace, can come and spit their verse, can find support of all sorts for arts done for fun to achieve this hip-hop.
Hey, this is Trinny Cee, live and direct here with Hip Hop Nation. It's an honor to be here in the studio again with all of you all. I'm super excited to start with our first guest this morning. And it's the one and only Smoke-Dee. And ironically, he actually was on the first taping of Hip Hop Nation.
Yes, yes. Shout out DJ Divine.
Big up, Smoke-Dee. So how about, since it's been a while, you let the community know, who is Smoke-Dee?
Oh, wow. How do I start, Trinny Cee? I mean, I'm a DJ, an MC since 1983, been that long. Putting in, working in community. I had a radio show for about 10 years. I'm a club DJ, producer. I work in the education field. I'm a single dad. I'm a black man trying to survive.
Amen.
in this world today. So,
amen.
In a nutshell, that's a man.
Where did you start your career? Was it here in the Twin Cities?
Yeah, I started here in the Twin Cities back in the early '80s. I relocated from Cincinnati, Ohio, which was my birthplace, and relocated to Minneapolis in the early '80s, and a product of KBEM radio magnet at North High School.
Nice.
That kind of put me in my direction as far as media.
Nice.
In high school.
Right. Has it? I mean, the '80s. That's when it was hip hop, like real hip hop. Does it seem like you've been in the game 30 years?
Yeah. I can feel every 30 of them years as I age and progress. But
progress is the key word.
Progress. Yeah,
yes,
but it's always been a culture with me, and I always wanted to participate in the culture when I first got into it. No matter what it was, I just wanted to be a part of that culture, that movement, that youth, because it's a youth movement.
Right.
It's a youth movement.
So what was hip-hop like in Minneapolis in the 80s? Who was the movers and shakers besides yourself?
Experimental, being that we were in the Midwest, we had to see what the West Coast was doing, especially what the East Coast was doing.
Right.
One of the first people that came to Minneapolis in the early '80s was Travitron.
Nice.
Who was going to the University of Minnesota.
Big up Travis Lee.
And so he was one who kind of brought the culture here, as far as doing parties and rocking at parks and stuff like that. And then also I met another brother from the Bronx, New York, DJD, who was an elder hip-hop pioneer.
Right.
And I met him through my partner, Derek Delight Stevens, who was from Queens, New York.
What up, Derek Delight?
Yeah, so we all branched and connected in the early '80s, and I started to learn the culture from those guys directly. I mean, I knew the music. I've been listening to hip hop since '79 with the Sugar Hill stuff when that came out. So I was able to learn more of the culture, dealing with those guys who were straight from New York.
Right.
They really schooled me.
Right.
They really schooled me.
That's outstanding. I mean, one thing I love about hosting the show is I learn so much history, especially about the Twin Cities. When I get an opportunity to interview you guys. Tell me what do you think is one of the most monumental moments of hip hop in the Twin Cities?
Monumental? I mean, it's so many different events I can recall on. I think one of the probably the most relevant events that I would say, as far as hip hop as a whole, was the whole concept of the rhyme sayers, sound set.
Yep.
Sound set, because they were able to galvanize the whole community,
right,
nationally, internationally, and bring it here and package it right here in Minnesota. So that was probably the most groundbreaking. I mean, even though that, you know, those guys learned from other pioneers like myself, they were able to take it to a level where they can go ahead and maximize it and bring it to, you know, bring it to everybody in a large package.
And on so many different levels, not just with the festival, but also with, you know, doing stuff. They started out of a basement, basically, right? And there's no shame in their game, and doing stuff. And then there was Fifth Element that gave people an opportunity all year long to actually know hip-hop, learn hip-hop, experience hip-hop, and then taking people, you know, they're a label and a distributor, you know what I mean? And taking people and elevating their careers that way. What a huge loss that we don't have that festival right now.
You know what I'm saying? It is a big loss. But
I hope it returns.
I hope so too.
Because I feel like when I say loss, not a revenue generating loss, but the impact of hip hop on our younger generation.
Yes.
Where's the opportunity for them to be exposed if it's not at those type of festivals?
Exactly. And it kind of shined the light on Minneapolis, as far as the hip hop culture.
50,000 people.
Yes,
it's one of the biggest hip hop festivals ever.
It was a festival that really gave Minneapolis credibility.
Shout out to the Rhyme Sayers family. Actually, they're actually family. So big up, and then thank you for all that you all have done throughout the years and continue to do. Even though the festival's not happening, I know they're still moving and shaking behind the scenes.
I seen a video with Slug the other day. Shout out to Slug.
I just know, I remember the first time I took my sons to attend that festival, and they got to, thanks to their older brother, they got to go backstage and be on the golf cart. And for me, the only thing I was worried about safety is because there's so many people, but I knew they were safe. And
it was a safe environment.
Exactly. I just stood up at the top of the tower one evening and just took it in, and I was like, people don't understand what goes into producing events and the labors of love. And literally it takes 364 days after the day, you know, so big up to them. Again, this is your girl, Trinny Cee, live and direct with the one and only Smoke-Dee, who's been making impact and creating waves, not only in the Twin Cities, but around the U.S. for the last 3 decades. And we're going to come right back.
You sound old, 3 decades.
I think I like it. I see, now, I don't even say old. I say seasoned
veteran,
or pioneer.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm fine with if somebody calls me old because I'm still here. Just don't call me expired. You know what I mean? When I'm expired, then it's a whole different world. Then we're like, oh, I'm going to come visit you, Stone. And but, you know, call me what you want as long as I'm still relevant, right?
I'm still relevant.
You're relevant.
I'm still breathing.
You're still breathing.
True.
All right, we're going to come right back, and we're going to talk about what he's currently doing in the Twin Cities and how he plans to share his knowledge and his passion and his works continuously, or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. We'll be right back. Again, this is Trinny Cee live and direct on Hip Hop Nation with the one and only Smoke-Dee.
What's up, y'all? It's Zeakey on the beat, and I'm here kicking it with y'all at Hip Hop Nation on First World TV. Glad to be here. Come back.
Hi, this is Trinny Cee. Again, I'm here with the one and only Smoke-Dee, who actually has had the honor of being on the first taping of Hip Hop Nations with DJ Divine. So I didn't know that. So this is
a couple years ago.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is outstanding. So again, we were talking about hip hop's Smoke's career in hip hop and here in the Twin Cities. You mentioned that you were on the radio. Can you tell us a little bit about your radio experience and how that has elevated? Did it elevate your career at all? Did it give you more visibility? Did it make you a celebrity?
It gave me more visibility. I never wore the celebrity tag. But radio, like I said, I started at KBEM Magnet radio program at North High School, along with my partner Derek Delight. Disco T was one of the participants too.
Yes, hi Disco T.
Yeah, so we went on. I went on and interned with Pete Rhodes at CBLS, which is an early cable radio station that broadcast from downtown Minneapolis, and I was an intern. So, I mean, I learned the inside out of radio production and editing through Pete Rhodes, and then I went on to school at Atlanta University. mass communication major, where I did some more broadcasting.
Okay.
Down there, and then when I relocated back to the Twin Cities, I reconnected with Derek, and we started a show on KMOJ, Friday night Smoking the Light show, which ran for about like 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
was it the KMOJ on Olsen Memorial or the KMOJ on
KMOJ in the projects?
In the projects, right?
501 Bryant Avenue North.
That's where I first started.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a real big thing back then, because we were able to we were able to salute and showcase a lot of local artists back then.
Yeah.
Because during that time, the game, Minneapolis had got a little traction.
Right.
You know, we had a couple artists that came out of Minneapolis to go on and do things.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of young cats that were trying to get in the game with no avenues open. You know, we're not on the East Coast, we're not on the West Coast.
We in the Midwest.
We're right in the middle. So it was
in the middle of the tundra.
In the middle, you know.
Right.
So a lot of artists, a lot of dope artists,
Yeah.
you know, they just didn't have any outlets. So, you know, Derek and myself, we took it upon ourselves to give these, you know, these artists some outlets.
Right.
You know, we were always good for, come on to the station.
Right.
You know, oh, you got a new song, let me check it out. You know, if it's dope, we'll play it. If it ain't, I'll tell you it ain't dope.
Right.
Come back and bring some more dope stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, KMOJ was a big pillar in the community, because it's always been community first.
Right.
I don't know what's going on now, but anyway, it was always a conduit to the community.
It really was, though.
Yeah, and me and Delight, we
Yeah.
really used that platform really to really showcase a lot of
Right.
cats and give cats just a voice in the community.
So
Yeah.
you talk about all those artists that you gave a platform, and of all time, who is one of your favorite Twin Cities hip-hop artists?
Oh, hands down, my favorite is Muja Messiah.
Yes, big
Yeah,
up Muja
Muja
Messiah.
Yeah.
I need to see him on a stage soon. I know he's doing his thing. He's taking care of his family.
He used
you know
to be
what I
with a
mean?
group called Raw Villa. Those
Yeah,
cats was
yeah.
real dope too.
Yep.
A lot of casting came through our way. I mean, it's really too many to name, but
Right.
probably Muja and probably OSP is probably my
Yes,
two
OSP,
two favorites from back
yeah.
in them days. Yeah.
So, how do you think hip-hop do you think there's been a change, you know, from the 80s, the 90s to now with hip-hop? Has it gotten stronger? Has the dynamics changed with to me, it's just like you know, a lot of auto-tone in the music.
Yeah.
I don't see like, you know, like similar to a dance hall. When you come into a dance hall, the selector is there.
Yeah.
You got the dance hall queens.
Yeah.
You got just this
Yeah.
vibe. You got the clothes. You got the attire. You got the dancing, the battles. What do you think the status of hip hop is currently?
I mean, it's making more money,
Right.
from the 80s.
Right.
I think it's gotten a little diluted, because you get so much of the same thing versus back in the days when everyone was original. No one wanted to sound it like the next person. I think you get too much of the cookie cutter right now, where
Right.
everybody's riding the same wave. But I mean, it's still hip hop. It's a youthful culture,
Right.
and the youth are embracing it now, and some of them are taking advantage and knowing the business much more than some of our
Okay.
predecessors knew
Right.
the business,
Right.
knew how to navigate
Right.
through this business, knew how to monetize it.
Talk
So
about that.
yeah, so
Yes.
it's
so
like
they've learned.
They've learned.
They've
You
learned.
couldn't help but learn.
Right,
You
right.
can't help but learn.
And there's a lot of people that just have their own labels and are doing their own
Yeah.
things and don't have to depend on Warner
Don't have
or
to
whoever.
be dependent on anybody.
All right.
Yeah.
So they've learned from our mistakes, or they've learned from our traction, and
True.
definitely it's more viable and feasible to them.
It
Hopefully.
is. It
Hopefully.
is. It is. I mean, they always say that, you know, the youth are taking it for granted.
Right.
And I kind of think
They
that
probably said that back in our day.
yeah,
though,
they
too.
did too. They
Right.
did too. But I think the difference is, back in our day, you know, early hip hop, and speaking for myself, there was no blueprint.
Thank you.
There was no blueprint.
I think in music there is no blueprint in general. We
blueprint.
could talk about the artists that
Yeah.
were before and the artists that are current, but you know, in music and in the entertainment world, you can create your own path all
True,
day long if you
true.
allow yourself to do that.
True.
If you stay and try to do other people and you know, copy, then you're not gonna make your own way. But
That's true. That's
yeah.
true. But I know, you know, we used to do a lot of research and studying, and kind of learn the music business.
Right.
Kind of learn what the artist was. Kind of learned, you know, I remember just looking on album covers just to see who was the engineer.
Right.
And who
Yes.
was, just,
kind
you
of
know,
like reading the credits
the
at the
credits,
end of the movies.
yeah, the credits were
right.
important.
Doing your homework.
The credits were
right.
important.
And then actually listening, you know, and taking an understanding of who am I bringing in the studio, and you know, your music is good, but I think you could do some work there. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think you have made a difference in our community with all of the labors of love that you've given us, as far as DJing, as far as hosting, as far as being on the radio? Have you made an impact in your mind?
I believe I made an impact. I believe I've been able to touch people with my abilities. I believe that I've been able to put a smile on people's faces.
Yes,
you
I
know,
agree.
Change their mood,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I think I have made a slight impact in the community.
Slight?
Slight impact.
Nah,
you
your
know.
name is large,
Yeah,
Frederick.
Yeah, it's a slight impact.
Your name is large. I didn't know that you've done so much, and it only makes sense. I think people think when your name is out there, it's just like, but to hear your history and to hear what you've done and to hear the different levels that you've done it on is amazing. So thank you for your contribution. We appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
All right, we're going to come back and talk about somebody that was very, very, very important. This is Trinny Cee, and I'm here with Smoke-Dee, and we are on Hip Hop Nation.
What's up, y'all? This is DJ Lazy T. Like I said, when I'm not on the phone, downloading, or not getting chased by one of my kids, I would listen to Hip Hop Nation, First World TV, with your man, Fake Show Baker, DJ Divine. Let's go!
Hi, we're back. Hip Hop Nation, Trinny Cee, Smoke-Dee, and we're getting ready to talk about somebody that's made a huge impact in hip hop. And we just got the news yesterday evening.
Yes, tragic.
That he passed away. So rest in paradise to the one and only Biz Markie.
Yes, Marcel Hall, his government name.
Government name. What, I mean, I had the honor of meeting him in Edmonton. I don't even remember how old.
Word? Edmonton?
Edmonton, Alberta,
Okay.
Canada. I don't even remember how old I was. I would just remember, those lips.
Those lips.
But, you know, what is Biz Markie to hip hop?
Biz Markie is the embodiment of hip hop. He has brought so much joy, so much pleasure, so much flavor through the culture.
Continuously
Through the
Right.
culture, and he's done things his way.
His way.
He never conformed to, okay, you got to be a rapper.
Right.
Okay, you got to be a beatboxer.
Right.
You know, he was able to embrace the whole culture of hip hop, which is many facets:
Right.
rapping, breaking, DJing, graffiti.
Beatboxing.
He was able,
Yeah.
he was
He
able.
beatboxed too, right?
Oh, he was
Yes.
a beatboxer. That's how he came
Yes.
out. That's how he came out as a beatbox.
Yeah.
But he transformed and elevated into a complete artist.
Wow.
And it's a real big loss.
Great.
Real big loss to the community.
And for you guys that don't know, I like to touch on this because unfortunately I've had to deal with it as a caregiver. He was suffering with diabetes.
Yes.
And diabetes in our community is similar to high blood pressure. It is a silent killer.
Silent.
So especially our men of color, our women of color, you need to go to the doctor, take care of your health. Because once you get something like diabetes or high blood pressure, it then starts to affect your kidneys, and it's a wrap. So at a young age, I know y'all are out here partying, you're doing your thing, lots of water, go to the doctor, do your physicals, do your annuals, and conversate about it. Because I think for us to stay relevant in the industry, we've had so many losses in the hip hop community.
losses.
And not even to the COVID, just to like that
Yes,
life,
yeah,
you
a
know?
lot of
You're gonna be
losses.
on the road, you're gonna do this, make sure there's salads, make sure there's fruits, make sure the craft services you have is, you know, lots of water, lots of nuts, but diabetes, you know, and just, again, so young, in his
Yeah.
late 50s.
Yeah, 57.
Right.
57.
So we're dying quicker. Do you think that he had it, with him creating so many different paths, that it was harder for him because he could do so many different things?
What do you mean by harder? What do you mean?
You know, I can host an event, I can promote an event, I can create an event, I can run my own sound in my event. And with that, people think you're so strong and that you're so talented, but it's also a burden to carry that strength, all that weight.
Yeah.
So, and with carrying all that weight and, you know, sometimes having to do it alone so much, or maybe you have your partner by your side, it can make you sick. So do you think, you know, having the pressures of him being able to do so many different things in our industry continuously, he wasn't just a beatboxer, right? He was also an actor. Do you think that, that having, when you wear so many hats, it can be stressful and harder than what society thinks it is?
Yeah, I'm sure it was a lot of stress on his shoulders, a lot of weight that he was carrying. But I guess, you know, as far as health-wise, I don't know what his health concerns was, but you can overlook taking care of your health when you're always
trying to make other people happy,
trying to make everybody happy on the road, because he was always on the road. You know, so yeah, I mean, I'm sure that had some bearance on it, and I mean, as black men, we suck that up and go. You know? And unfortunately, we don't take enough time. We don't take enough time to check on our health and our welfare. But we just, you know, used to going until you know, one day we can't go no more. So and
also not putting gas in the vehicle, you know what I mean, in our self. And when we talk about gas, self-love, meditation, time out. True. So, Bismarcky, what is one of your most favorite moments of his career?
Wow, I think the first time I heard Nobody Beats the Biz was a big song. And the first time I heard Big Daddy Kane was on Bismarck's album Just Rhyming with Kane. So he brought out Big Daddy Kane. And he was innovator because his music had satire. You know, it was comical, it was funny, it was funky. Overall, it was funky. You know, Biz was a hell of a producer. He knew his beats. He knew the music that would move you, and he wasn't afraid to be himself. On, you know, Just a Friend, we all know Biz can't sing, but he was blowing on that song. He was blowing on that song. He made it work, man. So it was just his ability to be a chameleon and go into other areas and be successful out of it. But yeah, those Nobody Beats the Biz, Just Rhyming with Kane. A lot of songs. The Biz is going off. You know, Reagan was a press, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm. You know what I'm saying? Just to drop jewels, like, and who was Shirley Chisholm? You go back and look and see who Shirley Chisholm was. You know, so
that knowledge.
He was a real. He was a real MC, a real b-boy, and a real successful entertainer. You know. Tragic.
In order, maybe not in order, your top 3 favorite hip-hop artists.
My top 3 favorite hip-hop artists? Wow, probably Kane, KRS, and it's a tie between Rakim and Chuck D. Public Enemy. That's my top 3.
Ooh.
My top 3.
So if people want to find you, are you on social media? How do people find you?
Yeah, they can find me Smoke-Dee on
DEE, right?
DEE.
Smoke-Dee.
DEE on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay.
You know, you can hit me House of DJs 1983 Gmail.
Nice.
Is you know how you can reach me, and I'm out in the community.
Any big events or projects coming up that you're on?
I'm DJing, so just look out for the name. You know, I'm still trying to stay relevant out here. House of DJs, Black Medallion Radio, also on Mixcloud.
I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you, again, schooling me on yourself as well as hip-hop in general. I'm honored to have you in first time, so this is actually your second time?
Second time.
All right. I'm honored. I didn't even know that. And I pray that you continue to bless us with all of your talents and presence for a long time to come.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, this is Trinny Cee with the one and only Smoke-Dee.
Trinny Cee.
Live and direct here on Hip Hop Nation.
Peace.
Peace.
What's up, Smoke-Dee, House of DJs, Black Medallion Radio. And when I'm in town, I'm always checking out Hip Hop Nation on First World TV. Tune in. Chatbout.
Hi, this is the one and only Trinny Cee, and I am honored to be here again hosting Hip Hop Nation, filling in for DJ Divine. Thank you, DJ Divine, for letting me have this platform. And I'm going on to part 2 of our session, and I have the honor of not only having an artist, but also an amazing producer with us in the studio today, Zeakey on the beat. Good day, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You doing good? Thank you for being here. I feel very blessed that you are in our presence here with us. Who is Zeakey on the beat?
Zeakey on the beat is a producer, God-fearing man, and an overall artist.
Artist, okay. So you wear a bunch of different hats.
Yeah.
How long have you been creating music?
I've been creating music since I was able to talk, but I have been producing and engineering since I was 11 years old.
11 years old. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you how old you are. So, you know, so you've been putting in time, you've been putting in work. Are you originally from the cities or are you from somewhere else?
From Chicago.
You're from Chicago?
Uh-huh.
And then are you, what about your bloodlines? Is it?
So, yes, my mother and my father, Jamaican.
Jamaican.
So I was born and raised as a Jamaican.
Yes. So you know I got to make sure and like represent the West Indies because hip hop actually started from Jamaica.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, if y'all research that, I'm not gonna give it away, but
yeah.
Cool Herc.
I was about to.
You're right. You was about to give it away. Did you know that at an early age, or did you find that out, or?
I found that out once I read a book called The History of Hip Hop, written by an old entertainment attorney and manager. So.
Okay. Yep. So if y'all don't know, Cool Herc research straight from Yard, and then came to the U.S. and did his thing and continues to do his thing and helping you do your thing out here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then you're here in the Twin Cities, and you've been doing music how long here in the Twin Cities?
Since about 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 10 years.
10 years. And so what has been your motivation to continue to do this work?
Just family, just thinking about, the roots. My family, has been deep into music for a long time. My grandfather, my late grandfather, he is one of the people that, influenced it heavily in my life. And so when I came here to Minnesota and started doing music, I really wanted to, help some of the young people who really don't have that type of family.
Okay.
And so I made music.
Music their family.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Do you like producing more than you like performing?
I think, yes, I like producing more than I like any other aspect.
Really?
Of, yes.
Because he can perform.
Music.
He's got this versatile voice. Like he can sing some Garth Brooks if you let him.
Yeah.
Some Marvin Sapp. And then he could probably take you to some E40 if you let us.
Okay, tell me when to go.
But you'll be able to check him out on his social media. It's no joke. If I'm going to say something and give credit where credit's due, it is outstanding. So you've been here in the Twin Cities, and you've had an honor to work with various amount of artists.
Yeah, I've worked with, as far as the Twin Cities goes, I've worked with Reeves Jr. I've performed with Ashley DuBose.
Big up Ashley.
Yeah, big up Ashley. I've performed with, I performed and produced artist named Mocash, Sia Soul, SK By The Way, Money Gang, a few different guys. I did a track with Skinny, Upstairs.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch.
That's outstanding. Yeah. You move so humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's why you're still existing? Is because you're just like, you know you're that, but you just move and creep like, you know.
Yeah, it's mostly just following advice of, you know, the successful people that I look up to. So like 2018, I got a tweet from DJ Mustard.
Oh, wow.
And it said, never listen today, you can be more successful than me. And so that's how I live now when it comes to you know what I do.
Being in this industry, is it taxing?
Break that down a little bit.
I find being a female in this industry, and I talk about it a lot, it takes a lot of investment and soul. Not, when I say investment, not financial or whatsoever, personal time investment. It takes meditation. It takes counting to 10, and like Granny say, counting backwards to 10. So is it, you know?
Yeah, it's draining at times, you know, mentally, emotionally, financially sometimes, but it's overall, it's a win.
It's a win.
So yeah.
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 What's one of the wins about it?
Happiness.
Happiness. Yeah. That you making other people happy?
Yeah.
I call that being a joy maker.
Joy maker.
Joy maker.
That's all right.
Yeah. When I'm ready to get out, you know, the other day I said I was going to retire and get out because I've been in it 30 years. 30 years this month. Something pulls me back in, and God's like, you're here for a reason, to make people happy. And I just, you know, when you have people like Third World and Morgan Heritage and other people reaching out to you, Buju Banton's people, and they're like, we need you to do this, continue to do that. You're like, okay, we're here for a reason, right? And yeah, no matter how much sleepless hours we have, we still do it, and there's a passion to it. And that's priceless. That's priceless, right?
Yeah.
And then you're driving somewhere, and then you hear your song on the radio.
Yeah, that's amazing. Done that a few times. It's amazing.
Do you stop the car? Do you pull over and be like, oh, that's me?
Nope, I just bang out.
You just bang out. You just turn it up?
Yeah.
Turn that
how I would
up.
to anybody else.
Yeah.
And I just
play it again.
Yeah. That's it.
This is your girl, Trinny Cee, here with one Zeakey on the beat. We are going to talk about the importance of hip-hop, especially in the Twin Cities, when we come back. Live and direct here on Hip Hop Nation. Big up First World TV. You done know.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, DJ Dime. And when I'm not all over the world or all over the country DJing, I'm right here in Minneapolis watching Hip Hop Nation right here on First World TV. Catch up with me at @pro_DJ Dime on Facebook, Instagram, all that social media. Go on and grab your popcorn, baby.
Hi, we're back here on Hip Hop Nation. I am Trinny Cee, and I have the honor of having the one and only Zeakey on the beat here with us today in the studio.
Yes, yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I would love to touch on, what do you think the current state of hip-hop is in the Twin Cities?
In the Twin Cities.
In the Twin Cities, because this is where we at.
Dying.
It's dying. I've heard that before.
Dying. Yeah.
And I've heard that from people that are creators of clothing lines and own stores. You want to elaborate on how it's dying? Is it because we don't have the venues? Is it because we're losing the festivals? What is it?
It's mainly because of the actual artists.
The actual artists.
In Minnesota. So no one wants to
put in the work.
Work with each other, though. It's teamwork.
Oh.
Teamwork make the dream work. And we look at places like New York, like Smoke talked about. You look at places like
Toronto, Florida,
California, Chicago, all of these places in Minneapolis and St. Paul tries to compare.
Right.
But you can't
even
compare.
within Minneapolis and St. Paul, within this state, it's like, I don't cross the river, that kind of,
Or I won't do a song with him. He don't have enough fans. But,
right.
You know, and that's majorly why it's dying.
It's dying.
Because if you think about hip-hop in its growth, when it began, it was a lot of people working together to reach a certain goal. People,
it still is.
Yeah, they shunned hip-hop.
Yeah.
They said
and it was very underground, similar to dancehall.
Exactly.
It was so underground for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Yep. And then when they found out they could make money off of our backs, then zoom,
skyrocketed.
But it is about a collective. It is about working together. It is about humbling yourself. I remember when I first came to the Twin Cities, the first individual to give me the mic was Teacher U, because I used to rap and sing before I promoted. And the reason I stopped rapping and singing, we call rapping in dance hall, was because the men in the industry did not want to partner with me. They just basically wanted to step off of my back and use me to their advantage instead of it being a team effort. And I feel that, again, as an artist, our community lost, because if you ask anybody that's heard me perform and they see me getting ready to go on the stage, they want me to sing again. They don't want me to be like bigging up the event or bigging you up in my event and hosting. But because that misogynistic behavior was there, it tarnished my contribution in that aspect. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to have my own shows. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do my own takeover, and give other people a platform. And most importantly, when they're on stage, make sure they feel safe. And one thing I do have when I'm doing events and when I'm working with people is you have to work together cohesively and respectfully. And I do think, even though I'm not as connected to the hip hop community, the younger hip hop community anymore, that the respect is missing. And you don't have to like me, right? But you can respect me, right? And most importantly, when we're in the music industry, we need to respect those that came before us. There's not, you could have Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube, and maybe they didn't get along at one time. But if they know it's gonna make a difference and they're gonna make some money off of this, and then next, is Martha Stewart and Snoop doing a big lighter? Let's think outside the box. What do you think is your personally biggest challenge right now to succeed in hip hop, in the music industry?
My biggest challenge, haven't found the right artist yet. The right artist?
It might be yourself.
I've heard that many times. So. Maybe.
Sometimes we're searching for love in all the wrong places. Just saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but he said he hasn't found the right artist yet, y'all. So that means he might be, recruiting.
You never know. Just send me your stuff.
Send his stuff to him. Zeakey on the beat. Right. Tell me real quickly, who is your favorite hip hop artist of all time?
Will Smith.
Will Smith. Favorite female hip hop artist of all time?
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah. Yes. She is such a queen.
Yeah.
Such an impact. Similar to Biz Markie, wears so many hats in the industry.
Biz Markie, DJ, producer, artist.
Yeah.
All of the above.
I think what I love too about Queen Latifah is as she's just never afraid to say who she is and being true. Yeah. And that's, again, hard as a person of color in this industry, but also as a woman, right?
Right.
Who do you think is the best upcoming artist currently?
Upcoming as in not established?
Correct. And it could be local, it could be national.
Best upcoming artist right now, me. Yes. No. I got to give a shout out to Sis Sia Soul is doing her thing.
Okay. Thank you for the ladies.
Yeah,
yes, there's not a lot of female rappers.
Yeah, female rappers, singers. I got female rapper right now. It's a girl named Kiki G from same thing. She's out of St. Paul, but she reps the Twin Cities. And so I've done some work with her, and she's elevating right now.
I think we don't exist in this space because, again, it's the misogynistic BS. Would you agree with that the women have to fight 10 times harder to get the mic? And then when they get the mic, that we're just looked at in a certain, oh, that was amazing. But then next, somebody's trying to holler at us. Do you see that?
I think that women should stop trying to rap for men.
Oh.
That's the problem. Men didn't rap for women.
Right.
Men started rapping for men.
Oh.
So women should have started rapping for women instead of starting to rap to please men. There's some rappers out there some female rappers out there who really understand that.
Right.
And they don't belittle themselves and degrade themselves to get ahead.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Ladies, you can succeed out here. You can. You just got to be true to yourself in any and everything that you do, not just the industry, in any and everything that you do.
That's right.
Again, I am honored to be filling in for the one and only DJ Divine here on Hip Hop Nation, and we are having an amazing time. We are going to take a quick break, come back, and talk about the one and only. We're going to let you know who we're going to talk about. This is Trinny Cee, live and direct with the one and only Zeakey on the beat.
Yes,
Hip Hop
yes.
Nation.
Yo, my name is Destiny Roberts, and when I'm in town, I watch Hip Hop Nation on First World TV.
We're back here on Hip Hop Nation, wrapping up with the final segment, and I wanted to talk about, of course, the one and only, as we did before with Smoke, Biz Markie.
Busy.
We lost him yesterday evening. One of his fights was not only being a black man here in America and around the world, but he was also fighting some health issues. How old were you when you heard Biz Markie? Do you remember?
It's probably about 5 or 6.
Favorite song?
Oh, you got what I need.
When you say it.
Yep, that one there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. What do you think was his greatest attribution?
I think him DJing and getting behind the scenes of music was more like his lane.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where he succeeded the most. I believe it was around 06, 07. He came to Chicago for the Bud Billiken parade and showed out at the picnic, and everybody was loving it. It was him and Music Soul Child. Music Soul Child was singing and he was the DJ.
Yeah.
And it was dope. It was the best performance I ever seen.
Right.
So it was like, from a DJ, you know, so it was like.
And to me, that's hip-hop. Hip-hop is an experience, again, similar to dancehall. You have to have the selector. You have to have the right sound. In the Caribbean culture, you have to have tons of speakers up behind you. But for me, when I go into a hip-hop event, I want to see the enthusiastic DJ with the gear, with the Kango hat on, whatever, but moving the crowd so much in different elements that the energy is there all night long, not just for 5 or 10 minutes. Listen, upcoming DJs, play for the people, don't play for yourself.
Exactly.
Okay? Unlike we talking about how to create music, you want to also be like have your own, but play for the people, because you will get a stronger following and more appreciation in your craft if you are connected and diversified. Yeah. Do you think that he loved one thing more than the other, or he just enjoyed wearing various hats and doing what he did?
I feel like every artist who has multiple skills and different skill sets within their talent,
right?
I feel like they all kind of, you know,
it's
have favoritism towards
certain things.
Yeah. So I think he kind of put his passion there with the DJing and the production. I think he kind of put his passion there because, I mean, as a producer myself, I know that as an artist it can be joyful, but sometimes the reaction from others as an artist, you know, it's different from the reaction when you're a producer or when you're DJing at a party or something like that. It's a different feeling,
right?
You know, so you know, being an artist, when you performing, it's more personal. Or when you're producing, it's more personal. When you're performing, it's more like you're doing it for everybody else.
Right.
So,
do you think the current generation of hip hop understands Biz Markie, Big Daddy Kane, Queen Latifah, MC Lyte? No, they don't.
Some of them would appreciate it. You know, like I don't know. I mean, I appreciate it. I remember one night I had the opportunity to sit and have a conversation with Rakim.
Right.
And so I was appreciative of that. But it's some guys my age who
be
probably,
like, who's that?
Yeah, like, who is dude? You know what I mean?
Right. Which is really sad because, again, if you're trying to be in the industry, you need to learn the history of what you are trying to also recreate or own.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's important that my generation and the generation coming should be familiarizing themselves. Yes.
And what they're doing. Just don't try and cook with no ingredients.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you just grab a pot of water.
That's why they end up as trash, a lot of them. So.
What message would you tell an upcoming producer?
Don't try, just do it.
Just do it.
I started making beats in the basement on my auntie's computer, simply by just typing in a program I heard about in Fruity Loops, and then I just kept going from there, you know, and try to be innovative and elite. Like, you know, a lot of producers or beat makers, excuse me, because they're not producers. A producer is someone who actually foresees the whole project.
Yeah,
So
right.
don't just
say that again. A producer is actually what?
A person who foresees the whole project. You direct it, you write it, you instruct
everything from
it.
A to Z.
Exactly. So even if you don't make the beat, you orchestrate it and say, well, this should go here, come in here, and
exactly. Yep.
So that's the job of a producer for the beat makers out there.
Right.
So I think you guys should just really just push and don't stick to the norm. You know, you might say, well, I work on Fruity Loops, I work on Pro Tools, I work on Ableton. Try them all. Work on all of them.
Diversify.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One more piece of advice: it's better to know a little about a lot than a lot about a little.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's also, there's more money to be made. There's different ways to make money in this music industry. Yeah. It's not just local talent. There is national opportunities. There's international opportunities. Mm-hmm. There's opportunities in doing artist management or doing the strategic work with artists. Yeah. So just don't have the tunnel vision, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't have to dream big, go big.
Yeah.
Do
your research.
Exactly. Do your research. Rub hands with the right people if you can.
Be humble about it.
Exactly. Be humble.
Right. Even if you know you are the best thing in the room, there's somebody that's going to come up later and will be better. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah.
Just be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Just listen to me.
Right. So how can people find you?
Zeakey on the beat. Just Google me.
How do you spell that?
Google. Now I'm playing. Zeakey on the beat. Zeakey. I'm going to spell that again. Zeakey. Space ONTHEBEAT.
Zeakey on the beat.
So Zeakey on the beat.
Yes.
Google me. Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify.
MySpace wasn't his time.
MySpace was like Baby Zeke or something when I was like,
You could Google my name and my MySpace profile will still come up, literally. Oh, wow. Actually, with artists like Mr. Easy and all that kind of stuff.
You still keep it up to date?
I don't keep it up to date. The cyber world keeps it up to date. But anyways, we're up to date. We're out of time. Again, I am blessed to have you in my presence. Thank you for sharing all of your knowledge. This is your girl, Trinny Cee, live and direct on Hip Hop Nation with the one and only
Zeakey on the beat.
One love.
What's up, beautiful world? It's your man, Kyle Sky. Whenever I'm not performing, rocking with some ladies, just making some music, you can find me on Hip Hop Nation on First World TV. Let's go. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey.
Holla back.
Yeah.
Holla back.
Cow.
Hey. This the mix.
Fear not, you heard me say I got this. Remember every time I talk shit and then backed it up and acted up and lost my chips? Well, fuck bad vibes, stay optimistic. Tell me this can't hit the populace quick. Tell me black sheep won't fly, imitators won't fly, radios won't pop to this shit. Take the world, then the universe lake is just a pearl. On the grand scale, she's just a girl and I'm just a man who love to stay but adjust the plans. Just a chance a nigga make it. Just enough, I take it all. Blast up a big loaf, break it off. Can't walk to the sky if you're afraid to fall, my nigga. Fear not. Hey, yeah. Looking like victory. I say, fear not. Looking like victory. Hey, fear not. Hey, yeah. Looking like victory. I say, fear not. Looking like victory. When? Fear not. Oh, right now we're the underdogs. Soon we'll be the Thundercats. Like, keep that under wraps, but don't go. Let them think that we'll go broke. We fear not, because we know 50s are stacking, my singles rising, Benjamin's spilling all over the floor. Plant big laurel streets below. This snatch these labels up by they throat. Claim I'm more than they can afford unless they pay me for each note. And if I'm inclined to sign that dotted line, you know I hand out more than hope. Becoming colossal with every quote. Paint a Picasso with every stroke they fold. I fear not. Hey, yeah. Looking like victory. I say fear not. Looking like victory. Hey, fear not. Hey, yeah. Looking like victory. I say fear not. Looking like victory. When? Fear not. Feel a little drunk, I feel a little high. And I find myself in this situation. You look good, so I'm feeling like finishing this conversation. Pull your body close to mine. Know you feel this elevation. Tonight, let's slow down time. Feel that sensation. Touch of temptation. Body vibrations. Oh, oh. Queen of creation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel that sensation. Feel that sensation. Feel that sensation. Turn up the genuine. Turn down your hesitations. Everything gon' be alright. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This ain't just another night. I feel tremendous. Intoxicated, mixing like a chemist. I'ma take you home. My bed is vacant. Once I taste it, you gon' feel that sensation. Touch of temptation. Body vibrations. Oh. Queen of creation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel that sensation. Feel that sensation. Feel that sensation.
612-377-3456. We definitely gonna have a good time today. I have this light-skinned dude in the building right now. He's called the one and only Black. Oh, the dark-skinned dude. My bad. What's up, Black?
What up with you, my dude? How you feeling?
Oh, man, I'm good. If you could get close to that mic right there.
How you feeling? What a feeling. You know what I mean?
What a feeling?
What a feeling,
Yeah,
man.
something like that, right?
That's what today is all about.
That's what it's about?
What a feeling.
Okay. I see y'all rocking y'all heads with me. Y'all feeling what I'm feeling. Okay, D-Mac. You gonna vibe with me on this one, dog? Let's see.
It all started when I was a little boy, while the other kids were playing with toys. I heard this beautiful sound. It came from out of my mama's living room. That's when I knew what I wanted to do. Let me express it to you. What a feeling, what a feeling. Oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. Hey, hey, what a feeling, what a feeling. Oh, y'all, what a feeling. It's my number one love. I get when you come around me.
Hey, yo, I feel good. Cause I love her, she feel good, cause she loves me too. I love being in the studio alone with her. I love writing, composing new songs with her. I put pride in all my work, all my play, and she always hit me when I got something to say. Never ask about money nor where I stay, and she'll always be down from state to state.
What a feeling, what a feeling. Oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. Hey, hey, what a feeling. What a feeling, oh y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. I can feel the blues in my soul, the hip-hop in my bones, the R&B, it makes me happy and saddens me, and even the gospel, oh I just raise my hand, I say that I thank God for the music he gives, what a feeling. What a feeling, oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. Hey, hey, what a feeling, what a feeling, what a feeling, oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. I'm letting you are my first love, and I would trade it for nothing in the world of you. What a feeling, oh y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. Came around me, hey, hey. What a feeling, oh y'all, what a feeling I get when you just come around me. Just in case you hear me the first time, I'm letting you know. And I would trade it for nothing in the world, oh you. When you come around me, oh, what a feeling, what a feeling, oh, y'all, what a feeling I get when you come around me. You gotta know it, you gotta know it, you gotta know it, you gotta know it, oh, keep on playing this music, keep on playing.
Welcome to Hip Hop Nation, where we discuss anything and everything hip hop. I'm your host, DJ Divine. Welcome to the show.